Hello students, welcome to my channel Brain Drain. My name is Neha Bhatia and this video is for chapter 2 class 11th accountancy part 2 basic accounting terms. Some of the terms we did in part 1, now we will do the remaining ones. In this video first I took the term assets because this is very important term for the accounting. Assets are the resources of the business. Assets are the economic resources of the business, and you can say assets are the things which will give economic benefit to the firm in future. So I will give you a very simple example. Suppose you have furniture business. So before starting any kind of business, furniture business also, what do you need first? You need a space, you need a place. Where will you keep all the things? Where will you start the business? Land and building. So these are the assets which will you give benefit, economic benefit in the future, means in the long term. Okay, so assets are the resources which will give economic benefit to the business in the future. So what we will write here, that assets are the resources will give economic benefit to the firm, or you can say enterprise, in future. For example, you can write building, land, furniture, cash, bank balance. These all are your assets of the business, because there are so many types of assets in the business. So that's why there are uh, two types of the business: current and fixed. So first we will talk about the current assets. Current assets are those assets of business that will be converting into cash within a short period of time. Which example I gave you of asset? That resources will give economic benefit. Economic benefit means when we will in need, we will sell and we will get cash. Means we will convert the assets into cash in our need. So it means that will give the economic benefit to the firm in the future. So if the asset, which kind of asset is giving economic benefit within a very short period of time, means within a very short period of time, meaning is within 1 year, within 1 year, that is called current assets. So in these notes I will write very short explanation, and because the theory is not that much important part of the accounting, main is the numerical, and you should know the concept. If you know the concept, so you can write anything in your language. Fine. So current assets, if you know about the current assets and fixed assets, so you can write in your language anything. So current assets are those assets which can be converting into cash within a short period of time. So I will write here that converting them into cash within short period. Short period means I tell you within 1 year. So what are the examples of these? Cash is already cash. From bank balance you can take out cash, and it can be reduced or it can be increased also. Means the withdrawing cash and depositing cash is a very frequent activity. So these cash, bank balance, these all come under current assets. Now you come to the fixed asset. What are the fixed assets? Fixed assets are those assets which are held by a business for a long term point of view. Held by business for a long term point of view means more, they will give you economic benefit in the future, at least more than 1 year. Fine. So what are the examples of fixed assets? Building, furniture, machinery, computer, land, etc., etc. So these are called fixed assets. Fixed assets also has two parts, tangible and intangible. So what are the tangible assets? Tangible assets are those assets which have physical existence. So now the point will come in your mind, then what are the kind of assets which does not have physical existence? Yes, these are the kinds of assets which does not have physical existence, that is called intangible assets. Now I will tell you, for explaining this one term, goodwill. Goodwill, what is the goodwill? Suppose I have started a cloth business, okay, and I am taking Manish Malhotra as my partner in this business. Why I am taking Manish Malhotra as my partner in the business? Because he has the goodwill. Means most of the people in the country knows that Manish Malhotra designed clothes are very good. So if I am taking Manish Malhotra's name in my company, in my firm, so by this name my company sale will be, my company sale will grow, isn't it or not? Because names matters a lot for the consumers. Okay, so because I am taking his name, so for this he will, means his name is an asset for me, because by this I am getting economic benefit. Am I or not? I am getting economic benefit for that, and the assets are the resources which gives economic benefit to us. So his name is giving economic benefit for me. So can you touch, can you use it, means can you touch it? It has any physical existence? No. So which assets will give benefit to us, but does not have any, these do not have any physical existence? So these types of assets are called intangible assets, and I have given you example. Do not have physical existence. And which fixed assets has physical existence? These are called tangible assets. Clear? I hope this topic assets is clear to you. Now you come to the next topic, liabilities. So before explaining the meaning of liability, the definition of liability to you, I want to give you one example. Suppose at your home you have taken, you have borrowed some money from your friend, and you have told him that I will return this money to you after 2 months. So this is your liability, that you will pay him same amount at the fixed time which you have told to him. So after 2 months, till 2 months you will not pay, that money will be your liability, that you have to pay. आपकी liability है, आपका दायित्व है कि आपको उसको वापस करना है. So now you come to the definition of the liability. Liability means amount payable by the business. So I think clear. Liabilities are those amounts which has to be paid by the business, जो business को pay करनी है within the period of, within the given period of time. So liability means amount payable by the business. Clear? This also is of two types, current and non-current. Easy. Non-current means fixed. Fixed नहीं कह सकते तो हम we will say it non-current. Current means which amount you have to pay within short period of time, and non-current means which amount you have to pay in the long period of time. Short period of time I told you within 1 year, and long period of time I told you more than 1 year. So long current liability is the liability which is payable after a period of more than 1 year, which is payable after a period of more than 1 year. And current payable, you can write here within short period of time, or you can write payable within 1 year. Amount which is payable within 1 year, that is called current liability. The amount which is payable after a period of more than 1 year, that is called the non-current liability. Now what are the examples? Liabilities examples are these. Suppose very common example I am taking, that you have, the business has taken loan from the bank. So this is also a liability. If you have taken 10 years loan, 15 years loan, 20 years loan, but after the fixed period of time you have to repay it, you have to pay it. The business is payable, the amount is payable by the business to the bank. Okay, and one more term I told you, the creditor. Creditor means the person to whom the business has to pay some money. So the creditors are also liability. So by this we will define these two also. The loan will come under non-current, because when we take loan from the bank, it, it is always more than there is always more than 1 year time. Okay, and the creditor are the person to whom we have to pay. But suppose we are purchasing something from a person, and we have assured that after some time, within 2 months, 3 months, 6 months or 8 months, we will take. So creditor will come under current, because most of the time the person always gives time, always less than 1 year, not more than 1 year. So creditor will come under the current liabilities head. Clear? Now you come to the point, receipts. Receipts. So if we have started a business, so we have started a business of selling something or rendering service. There are two types of business, that for selling some goods or rendering service. Rendering service example is, suppose you have open, there are so many example, Flipkart. So you must be using this also. So they are rendering service, they are just delivering the goods. Okay, so rendering service business maybe or selling goods. So which amount is received by the selling assets, by selling goods, or by rendering service, that received amount is called the receipts. So what we will write here, that receipt is the amount received, receipts is the amount received for selling assets or for selling goods or for rendering services, that amount is called receipts. Now receipts is also of two types. Here I told you if we are selling assets, so when we are selling asset, this will call capital receipt, and when we are selling the goods of the business, that will call revenue receipt. Yeah. Okay, if we have cloth business, and so goods is cloth for us, and if we are selling the goods, by the selling of goods we are getting something, that is called income, that is called income, and this will come under revenue receipt. And if we are selling the assets of the business and we are getting amount, so that is called capital receipts of the business. Now you come to the point, expense. Expense is the cost incurred for generating revenue. Means revenue means income by selling goods. When we are selling goods from business, we are getting amount, means we are, that is income of the business. But for selling the goods, we have to do some expense also. Yes or not? We have to do some payments, like we have to give salaries to the employees, which employees are there in the business. So these kinds of expense we have to do before selling goods. Cartage, suppose with the goods is coming into the business, for that we are giving cartage, freight, electricity bill is also going on, and we are giving salaries to the employees. rent of the Rent of your building is also you are giving. So these all are called expense, which amount we are spending for generating revenues, these amounts are called expense. Fine. So expense is the cost generating cost incurred for generating revenues. Clear? So what is the relation between expense and income? Income is always equal to revenue minus expense. Income is always equal to revenue minus expense. You have sold some goods, तो उससे आपको revenue हुआ. Okay, now you have subtracted the expense also, which you have done from selling this goods. आपने जो गुड्स सेल किया है, उससे जितना अमाउंट आपको रिसीव्ड हुआ है, दैट इज़ रिवेन्यू. और उस गुड्स को सेल करने के लिए जो आपने एक्सपेंस किए हैं, वो आप एक्सपेंस व्हेन विल यू सब्ट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम दिस अमाउंट, so you will get your income. So income is equal to revenue minus expense. Clear? Now next point is expenditure. Expenditure is a broad term of expense. What I told you about expense, that cost incurred for generating revenues. Expenditure is also the amount spent. Expenditure is also the amount which we are spending or liability incurring for acquiring assets or goods or rendering services. Fine. So I will give you example. If we are purchasing assets, because this asset will give some economic benefit in the future to us, or we are improving the existing assets, because we have, suppose we have machineries, but now we are improving the already existing machineries, because after some time, which machineries we have in the business, suppose we have factory of producing some goods, so we have so many types of machineries, and after some times we have to have do the repairing of these machineries. So if we are doing some improvement, or we are doing something in the existing assets, so we are doing some expense, but why we are doing these expense? For improving the condition of the business, for improving the assets of the business, which will give the economic benefit to the business. So these types of expense are called expenditure. So expenditure is the amount spent, or not only amount spent, or liability incurred, means we have done we have spent something on the assets, but we have not paid, so liability incurred to us, that we will pay after that. So amount spent और liability incurred, या तो हम पे करेंगे या फिर हम अपनी लाइबिलिटी से बना लेंगे कि हम पे करेंगे आफ्टर सम टाइम. फाइन, क्लियर है? अमाउंट स्पेंट और लाइबिलिटी incurred for which? For acquiring assets, goods and services. So if we are doing expense, or we are incurring liability for acquiring assets and for improving assets, for acquiring assets or for improving existing assets, that type of expenditure will be called capital expenditure. And revenue expenditure incurred, the benefit of which is consumed or exhaust within accounting period, means within 1 year. Okay, so in this, acquiring assets will come. What will come? Oh sorry, acquiring goods or rendering services, which will give benefit within short period of time. Now what is the deferred revenue expenditure? Deferred revenue expenditure is a revenue expenditure in nature, means वो होगा तो आपके किस नेचर का? Revenue expenditure का. This will be of nature of revenue expenditure, means this will give benefit within, so means this will be for acquiring goods and services, but this will give benefit in long period of time, means in more than 1 year, means the mixing of these two. This revenue expenditure, deferred revenue expenditure, what will come under this? This will be of for acquiring goods and rendering service, but this will give benefit within, means this will give benefit in more than 1 year. So mixing of these two, so these types of expenditure are called deferred revenue expenditure. Now the next two topics, bills receivable and bills payable. Before explaining you bill receivables and bills payable, first I will explain you the term debtor and creditor. So debtor is a person to whom we have sold goods on credit, means the consumer has not paid to the business. The consumer has not paid to the business. He or she will pay after the given time. So debtor is the person to whom credit sale with whom credit sale is done. Means we have sold goods on credit to the consumer. That person is called debtors. Means the person who will pay some amount to the business after some time, that person is called debtor for the business. The person who will pay some amount to the business within fixed period of time, that person is called debtor. But what is the proof of it? That bill receivable is the proof of it. For this, one type of document, one type of evidence is given to the person, and all the things will be written in that evidence, that person name, and he will pay after how many months, and at what time he will pay, or the amount which will pay. So these all things is written in the document, and that evidence is called bill receivable. That evidence is called bill. So bill receivable is the evidence which is used. Bill receivable is the evidence which is used at the time of credit sale. Bill receivable is the evidence which is used at the time of credit sale and has to be given to the debtor, and that is the proof that he will pay that much of amount after this much of time to the business. Same, you come here, what is creditor? The creditor is person to whom we have to pay. Creditor is person to whom business has to pay amount. Business has to pay. So creditor is the liability for the business, and debtors are the assets for the business, because we will get cash, and in the this under this term creditor we have to pay cash. That's why creditors are the liabilities of the business. Clear? So we have to have the evidence for this also. The bills payable is the term for that. So what are the bills payable? Bills payable is also an accounting term of bills, and this is used at the time of credit purchase, and its use. Bill payable, bills payable is also a evidence which is used at the time of credit purchase. Means business has purchased some goods on credit. Udhar kharida hai, credit means udhar, on credit, and the business will pay the amount to which person, that person will be the creditor, and that evidence will be bills payable. Clear? I think so. I hope these all terms are clear to you, and these all terms are very important for the further accounting treatment. So again revise these terms and then move further. Okay, thank you.